Today we have a rare conflict, one Imperial force against a formerly Imperial force. I think these armies have only faced off against each other once, and it wasn't even on the channel. So we've got the Astra Militarum Renegades facing off against the Adeptus Mechanicus of Mars. So the renegade force known as the Grey Ghosts, once loyal to the Emperor but have fallen from grace, using contraband substances to increase their fighting power has been made them excommunicated from the Imperium. All the tanks are on a slow decline to chaos influence, and Mechanicus not happy with this. They need to come in and purge the filth from these machine spirits. There's a rumour within the ranks of the Renegades that there's a shadowy cloaked figure pulling the strings, and no one knows his true purpose in this conflict. So for this mission we're going to play a mission from the chapter approved book. It's Ascension. So there's 3 objectives on the table, we'll get to those in a second, and we are playing a front line assault deployment. So it's like Dawn of War, but it's a little bit of a spearhead. 9 inches from the centre, 6 inches from the side, and it's arrowhead formation just about. So both sides are set up here. We've got 3 objectives, so we've got one directly in the centre, one pretty much on the centre line over here, and then the third is just off the centre line in that building there. So you've got to hold the objective at the end of your turn to score a point. If a character is on the objective for multiple turns, he scores the points for how many turns he's been on that objective for, and he essentially has objective secured over everybody, do characters. So you've got to get your special guys in the field. And of course all secondary objectives are in place. So Slay the Warlord, Linebreaker and First Blood. Right, we've got 1750 of Adeptus Mechanicus. So we're using the Mars Dogma. Of course this is from the home world. So we've got Belisarius leading the force here. He's the Warlord of course, and that gives him a 9-inch radius for rerolls in the shooting phase, so he's pretty good. He also allows you to tinker with the canticles. You get to roll 2 dice for Mars, and Belisarius can move them up or down 1, so you've got as much control as you can possibly get on your canticles, so that's pretty important. So that's why he's the Warlord, and that's why he's in the force. So Belisarius is the first HQ. Second HQ is this Tech Priest Dominus. He's got the Volkite Blaster. He's got a Macro Stubber as well, and he has the relic. He's got Anzian Pseudo Genitor, so we're using the cat unit for this because it's dead cute, and you go and zap people with those extra rules. So much like Azrael's Watcher in the Dark, we're not actually going to count this as a model, it's just a visual reminder for that relic. We've got 3 troops now. We've got a unit of Vanguard, 2 Plasma Culverins in there, and pistol, power sword, and we've got the enhanced data tether, I think it's called, rerolls, failed morale test, which is pretty important for Mechanicus. I feel like Mechanicus suffer leadership worse than any other army out there in 40k at the moment. We've got another unit of Rangers of Scutari. These are Rangers, so we've got an arc rifle. The rest of them we've just got the galvanic rifles. We've got the Omnispecs in there to ignore cover for anyone shooting with that unit. Elite, we've got unit of Electro Priests. These might get a shot off in this game. They're a really hard luck unit in my army here. They've always died to a man before they've even got a shot off, so we'll see how they do today. We've got a Data Smith, 2 robots with the Power Fists and Flamers. We've got Fast Attack here. We've got the Infiltrators with the Taser Gourds and Flechette Blasters. We've got Destroyers with the Plasma... is it Culverin or Culliver? Can't remember. The big plasma cannons with the Cognus Heavy Flamers on. And then for heavies we've got the Dune Crawler with the Neutron Laser and the 2 Heavy Stubbers, so nice little unit there. And I've got another detachment. We're using 2 Armored Knights from House Raven, and they've got the stuff that you see, 2 melter guns up top. So what this means for command points, we've got 3 for being battle forged and 5 for the normal detachment for 2 HQs and 3 troops. Okay, I'm going to quickly go through the opposing force here because the other player's just taking the dog out for a walk because she gets whingy. So here we go. Okay, so today we're using Renegade Catachan rules for these. Normally we would use the Renegade rules in the past, but Forge World don't look like they're interested in writing rules for Renegades, and these are now discontinued, all these models, so we're using them as Catachans. It's the closest thing we can get to what they really should be. Although with the new Blackstone Fortress, these rules might come back and this army might be a true Renegade army. But we're going to replace all the Imperium keywords with Chaos, just for the hell of it. I don't think it's going to make any difference in this game, but the story behind this regiment is they were deep in the Death Worlds, under pressure from the Chaos forces, and they turned to starting to burn all these warp plants, and off the fumes came strength. These sort of steroid fumes came off, tainted by Chaos, so that's why the +1 strength, that's why they've all got the respirators, because they've now weaponized those forbidden fruits. So they've been excommunicated from the Imperium and now they are full Renegades. So that's why they've got the +1 strength, makes sense. And they've got all the benefits of the Imperial Guard, because they haven't fallen totally far from grace yet. They still take orders and such. So there's 3 detachments, and here we go. So we've got company commander here, he's got plasma pistol. There's his command squad, just all close combat weapons with a standard. We've got a 2nd regimental commander, so both of these are going to be able to do 2 orders each. He will be the warlord, and this is the 2nd HQ. It's got 2 melter guns, and 2 hand-to-hand weapons. And then there are 5 troop choices here, so these 3 units are identical. And we've got autocannon, flamer, and voxcaster in every single squad there. And then these 2 squads are identical. They've got a missile launcher and a plasma gun, and voxcasters for them as well. So voxcasters in the command units too. So that's the battalion. And we've got a heavy support detachment over here. We've got a tank commander, he's got battle cannon and las cannon, 2 independent battle tanks here with a flamer in the hull, and then we've got a Griffin, which is a really nice vehicle there. It's got some really good rules for that one. And we've got a fast attack detachment here as well. So we've got a Sorcerer, he's the HQ for this one. We've got the Hellhound, a Scout Salamander. So if you're not familiar with what this can do, it just at the start of the turn, or before the first turn, they can scout 9 inches. So we might see this happen in the game. I've got a squad of 3 armoured sentinels as well, so that's another command point for that detachment. And we've got Hellhound just for the main detachment as well, it's worth saying. So because this army is a little bit special, what we like to do is we like to add Cypher into this unit. He's the guy behind the curtain pulling all the strings. So he will be in the force. Don't worry about keywords and all the rest of it. What we're going to do is we're going to put him in a 4th detachment. Don't worry that it's not allowed in match play. Forget that nonsense. So we are going to throw away a command point because he will be an auxiliary detachment. So we've got 3 for being battle forged, 5 for the main battalion, and then 1 for the fast attack, and then we've spent the 1 for the heavy support detachment. So Cypher is the guy pulling the strings behind the curtain here. Oh, and there's an additional priest here. He almost got left, he wasn't on the table, but there he is. There's going to be a renegade priest preaching the word of chaos. So what he does, if you're within 6 inches of him, he's going to give models +1 at attack. So it's pretty good for Catachan having +1 strength. And just quickly for the warlord, his warlord trait is going to be regain command points on a 5, of course, and the relic is going to be regain command points on a 5 when your opponent uses a stratagem. So of course we are using the FAQ, or the big FAQ 2 rules, where you can only regain 1 point per battle round. So for deployment, the Mechanicus, they're finished setting up first, so we'll go through what they have. We've got Electro Priests on the wing here, the Dune Crawler, the Destroys here, Belisarius directly in the centre with his influence, robots up front, we've got the 2 armigers down there, and then we've got more infantry on this wing. So we've got the Rangers, Vanguard, and there's the Tech Priest Dominus with the Trusty Cat unit. And then in Deep Strike Reserve, or whatever it's known as these days, are the Infiltrators ready to come into the game. So we are playing chapter approved, the big FAQ 2 rules, where any reserves can't come on the board until turn 2. And for the Great Ghost Renegades, pretty self-explanatory here. We've got all the infantry of various squads all lined up across the front here. Cypher right in the middle. And so going from right to left, we've got the Hellhound here, we've got the just a simple battle tank here, we've got the Griffin at the back. Inside the Chimera is the full regalia of command, so we've got the Primus Psyker, the Priest, both HQ commanders, and then the 2 command squads as well. We've got another basic battle tank here, we've got the Sentinels, they've been airdropped up top on this the structure here. And then right on the wing here we've got a Scout Salamander. Before the game begins this can go 9 inches forward, and then we've got the tank commander right in the corner here with a good field of fire. Okay, so for the Primus Psyker inside, what psychic powers has he got?
So he's got terrifying visions and night shrine.
Okay. So that is deployment, and Mechanicus are going to get a +1 to the dice roll to see who goes first here, because we did finish first with the smaller army. So the Mechanicus get a 1, goes to a 2. Imperial Guard Renegades get a 5. So right, we're going to have to see if we can steal the initiative, because we do need the first turn. It's crucial against the Guard. We'll roll another 1. Okay, not a good omen, double 1. So the Imperial Guard will go first. Okay, so things happen at the start of the battle round. So we had the Salamander go forward 9 inches, because that's one of the special rules, and we also had some stuff going on for the Mechanicus as well. So before we roll for our Canticles, we played Knight of the Cog, which means one of the knights can get the benefits of the Canticles. So we selected this one, and the Canticles we rolled for were Shroud's Arm, luckily, and Chant of the Remorseless Fist. So we've got the benefits of being in cover, so we didn't actually need to use that new stratagem for defend or prepared positions where everyone's class is in cover. Shroud's Arm does that for you anyway, so we're lucky to roll that. And Chant of the Remorseless Fist is reroll 1s to hit in combat, so that might not happen in the first battle round, but it's up our sleeve all the same. Okay, first turn movement for the Great Ghost Renegade. So it's the order's gone out, everyone move forward. So the massive posse in the centre here is all moved up closer to the central objective. Cypher's moved up onto the armoured containers there. We've got most of the command come out of the Chimera and joined the masses here. So we've got the company commander there, the second in command there. We've got the Priest, there he is, the Psyker. He can see through the middle. He's got a good line of sight on the robot. He's preparing to summon the powers of the warp to try and smash them with Smite. We've got a command squad with a banner in there to hold morale as well. And then over on the left here, we've got this squad. They've advanced. The Salamanders took it to move as well to get onto this objective. These all advanced, by the way. This squad is advanced up to the wall. The Hellhound has come up to claim this objective. So all objectives but the centre one, still not quite there yet, but they will be there when the orders come in. So dominating the board so far, and then all of the other vehicles in the back, they just stay still. So this Lehman Russ, these 2 vehicles, this Lehman Russ, and then the one in the corner down there. Okay, so we're going to do the Psychic phase. The Primus, formerly Primus Psyker, he's now a Renegade Psyker, is going to smite this front robot. So he needs a 5 to pass. He does, that's a 10. So we've got D3 mortal wounds coming the robot's way. There's nothing we can do about that, we've got no protection. It's the full 3, nasty stuff. Okay, 3 wounds left on the Castellan robot. They've only got 6 each, these guys, so that's instantly halved. So now the Imperial Guard are going to issue orders, then we're going to go into the shooting phase. Right, so the orders are done for everybody. I forgot to mention, if I didn't mention it, I can't remember, but he consolidated 2 squads together, so, and then he placed the advance order on them, so they ended up going 11 inches forward. So these Renegade Guardsmen, obviously the influence of Khorne is starting to creep in on them, so they're very bloodthirsty, or very brave. They've gone out right in front of the Mechanicus to secure this objective, so they'll actually be getting 3 objectives this turn. This unit advanced around the corner as well, and then the character ordered himself to come round as well. So there's another unit behind the boxes. It's the command squad with the banner that are within 6 of this squad. So with them being all Catachan trained, or Catachan doctrine, if you're within 6 inches of your officer, you also get a +1 to your leadership. So all these units actually have +2 to the leadership, so they actually can hold quite well in the face of all this Mechanicus machinery. Right, so the first shots of the game are going to be awarded to the tank commander in the corner. So he did issue an order for himself for Gunner's kill on sight, so it's rerolling ones for that. And he's going to split his fire like this, so it's going to be odd, but the las cannon's going to go for the armiger, and the battle cannon is going for the vanguard. So you would think the battle cannon would go on him, but it's because there's not a heavy presence of infantry on this side, and certainly wants to take objectives. It's all about playing for this mission for the Renegade Guard, so they're going to try and whittle down the infantry. The robots are going to have to be stopped at later turns, but if you can deal with the infantry first, then that'll put them in good stead to keep on having these points trickle in. So here we go, the las cannon first, hitting on a 3, rerolling 1s. And he's hit, and he wounds on a 3. Does not wound.
Command reroll.
Command point reroll, thought that might be the case. And it's failed. It's lucky because we didn't put ion shield on this knight. For that reason we're going to chance it, and it's paid off.
See if I get that back. I do.
So he does get the point back for this turn. So he can't, because we're playing the FAQ rules, he can't generate any more command points. Right, he's going to open up with the battle cannon now at the vanguard squad. So how many shots? 2 dice, and you can re-roll 1 of them. So because he's catch on trained. So there's a 5 and a 3. That's 8 shots coming downwind, hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. So there he is. He's got 8 shots right down range at those ranges. So 8 shots, hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s. It's 3 1s to re-roll. And that's all but 2. So 6 hits, wounded on 2s. And all but 1, so there's 5 wounds. I'll just re-roll these. So it's AP minus 2, we save on 4s. But because we've got Shroud's Arm, it'll effectively be AP minus 1. So we'll be saving on 5s with the Rangers. And we don't get any, so we've lost 5 straight away. Alright, so they've been halved now with our battle cannon shot, and then the Salamander's has fired already. Auto cannon missed, the heavy bolter's got 2 hits, 2 wounds, so we need to save on just straight 4s because Shroud's Arm is in effect for us. So we save 1, fail 1, so there's a 6th Vanguard goes down in a heap of scrap. Okay, we're coming over here for the Griffin heavy mortar. So this is already fired its heavy bolter at the armiger in the distance, didn't do anything, but the Griffin heavy mortar is going at the same Vanguard squad who's under pressure, trying to pick up first blood straight away. So the Griffin, you roll 2 dice and pick the best for shots. And then because he's Catachan, he can reroll that 1 and at least try and get a 6. He's got a guaranteed 5 shots going. And it's going to stay at 5. So 5 shots. And needs force to hit. And gets 3. And then it's strength 6, so you're wounding on 2s. It's a very good weapon, the heavy mortar. So he gets all 3. So it's AP minus 2, I believe. I'll just give it a quick check. Alright, so it's not AP minus 2, but it's AP minus 1. And it ignores cover, so we're not going to get Shroud's Arm, so we are at AP minus 1, saving on 5s. And we'll fail all those, not 1 save passed. We've only got 1 Skitari guy over there left. So there he is, the Ranger, the lone survivor. He's looking in bad shape. Right, so the Renegades clearly trying to pick off the infantry here. We've had that Lehman Russ in the distance, as far as battle cannon at these ranges. 6 hits, 6 wounds. And Shroud's Arm in effect, so only AP minus 1 after all. Because we're counted as in cover, so saving on 5s for the Rangers. Need to get some good saves here. We'll only save 1. 5 go down in that squad. Okay, the punishment continues. This Chimera at the back has fired heavy stubber through onto this Ranger squad. Got 1 hit, 1 wound. Need to save on a 3 because we're Shroud's Armed. Still don't get a save. Oh. Alright, and then we've got 2 wounds on the Electro Priests of the 2 heavy bolters from the Chimera. So these, they've got an invulnerable save of 5. Shroud's Arm won't help them because the armor save is poor. So 5s to save. We do save that squad though. Wow, what a turnaround. They're normally just killed piecemeal. It's everyone's turn this time. Alright, it's the Destroyer's turn now. They're going to get shot at by the 3 Sentinels with las cannons up top there. Clean line of sight on them. So there they are, you can see them in the distance, so here come the Sentinels. So 3 shots from the las cannons. 2 hits, so the strength 5, the strength 9 versus toughness 5, so 3s to wound. Ooh. Escaped. That was a 2 and a 1. And no rerolls because he's already used his command rerolls. So the Sentinels don't find the mark this time. Right, the Destroyers are now going to come under fire from this Lehman Russ. I can see with the side of the track. So how many shots for the battle cannons? So we can reroll that one because of Catachan. Still a 1, so 6 shots. And hitting on 4s. Okay, all but 1. Some good shooting. Strength 8, so needing 5s to hit. Sorry, 3s. Beg your pardon. Wish it was 5s. 3. Alright, AP minus 2. We do have a save of 4 on our armour. And we're Shroud's armour, so that's 3 minus 2. We're needing 5s to save. Oh, finally we get some saves in. Triple save. Now we're just finishing up the shooting phase for the Renegades. Heavy bullet from the Chimera through the doorway, or through the crack in the wall. Hitting on 5s, doesn't get any hits there. And Cypher could fire his triple shot bolt pistol, but he's just out of range. It's a 16-inch range triple shot bolt pistol, but it just fell short. Okay, that is the end of the first turn for the Renegades, and it's been deadly for the Mechanicus infantry. So on the morale front, it's pretty short. He's lost 9, there's no way we can pass, and there's no point of playing the counter, insane bravery, because if we could play it here, survive him, but we could easily just fail with this unit and still lose first blood. So there's no point of wasting 2 command points because it's inevitable really. So we're going to lose him, and that's first blood to the Renegades. And then we've got a morale check here. We'll have to roll a 1. If we roll anything but a 1, that's how many we're going to lose. So we've rolled 2, which is actually pretty good. We've only lost 1 ranger there, so we did actually hold on. So on the victory point front, the Renegades are going to pull ahead big time. We've got 1 point here, 1 point there, and 1 point there. So 3 points for the objectives and then 1 point for first blood. So 4 points straight away to the Renegades. Okay, turn 1 movement for Mechanicus. We've got everyone going forward just about. So we'll start on the left here. We've had the priests that advance to the wall here, out of sight, hopefully out of mind. They're going to try and push onto that objective in due course. The Onega Dune Crawler just pulls forward a little bit, and this Knight goes all the way around here. So we've got 2 heavy guns. We're going to try and see off that Chimera. We need to do it. It's a Hellhound, sorry. If not, any infantry we try and claim that objective with is in big trouble. The Destroyers, they go forward a little bit. We're going to try and put some shots on the tanks. We've also got Flamers. We're going to try and eradicate this whole unit in one go. We've got the tools to do it, but what it's done is create a screen to stop us going as far forward as we can to actually get into those tanks. So the suicidal guardsmen have actually got a purpose, and the remains of this unit over here are going to try and make something of their lives. They're going to go forward, going to do something. But the big news on this side is this Armature moves 14. We're going to try and wrestle this objective off this Salamander, try and do all we can to put the pressure on that side. And then the last thing, as part of the moving phase at the end, we heal D3 wounds on the robot here. Only rolled a 1, so we use Tech Adept for a command point to heal him again, and only rolled a 1 again. So he's not on full health, he's got 5 wounds left, which is still fairly good. Okay, we're going to start shooting now. We're going to have this Armature Dune Crawler. It's going to fire the thermal spear all the way over into the command tank into the side. Then we're going to do the melter gun at close range on this Salamander. So the melter gun first has missed. Do we want to reroll that? We want to try and damage it, but we don't want to blow through our command points. We've only got 6 left, so we're not going to do that. Thermal spear over into the corner. How many shots? 2 shots. Hitting on 3s. Gets 1 hit. Needs a 4 to wound. Only a 1, so nothing from the Knight. Disappointing. Right, we're going to try and hose down this front line. We're going to open up with the Destroyers first. So we've got 3 Flamers within range of this screen. So Flamers at them, and then heavy plasmas at the Griffin at the back, because we hit the artillery. So 3 Flamers. That's pretty good. That's 15 shots. So here we go. Cognus Flamers, 15 shots, strength 4. So we're needing 3s to wound. Alright, so we've lost 5, 6 in the fire, and then so that is 9 wounds to save on 5s. Okay, so there's 9 wounds. We jumped the gun a little bit. I didn't give him a chance to declare any stratagems there, so he's going to play take cover on that front unit, give them a +1 to the armor save. So saved on 4s, very nice, but it's still a bit of a bad roll there. So there's 7 go down in flames, purge the heretic. Right, got the plasma culverins firing up at, we can see the side of the griffin at the back. It's a very tight angle, but we can see it. So we've got 3 plasma cannons firing randomly, or the super plasma cannons really. So we've got 11 shots. Alright, so we've got 11 shots, hitting on 4s, but we're re-rolling, because Belisarius gives you full re-rolls. So 4s, it's pretty good so far, 2 to re-roll. Right, so 2 go straight. And the Griffin is toughness 7, so actually wounded on 4s as well. We do not want to overcharge, because if you overcharge, you kill yourself, and there's no way back from that. Unfortunately, I wish they could, but here we go. Right, so we've only got 3 wounds in the end, and you save on 6s, because it's AP minus 3. 3 to save, and fails all 3. So 3 wounds on the Griffin, so it's just a start. Alright, so the next Mechanicus unit, we've got the Armiger. He's going to fire through at the Hellhound. So it's only the thermal spear in range, so he's got D3 shots. It's the full 3, that's what we like to see. 3s to hit, just 2 hits. And it's 3s to wound because it's toughness 7. There's 2 solid wounds. It's AP minus 4, so no save. And then it's D6 damage each. It's a 4 and a 2. Do we use a command point reroll? We absolutely do. So we're going to command point reroll that 2, and it's still a 2, so we've just dropped a command point for no real gain. So 6 wounds on the Hellhound to start. Right, we're firing the Dune Crawler now. We've already fired the heavy stubbers at the covered Renegades there. We'll kill 2 with the stubbers, and then the neutron laser is already gone at the Chimera. So D3 shots for this. It's a pretty nasty weapon. We're getting 2 shots. Hits on 3s. And we'll get both hits, and then strength 10, so we need 3s to wound. This is the important part. We'll get both wounds, and it's AP minus 4, so no save whatsoever. And it doesn't matter what we roll, it's a flat 3 damage at least. Let's just roll it anyway, so we can experience the rules. Right, so it's a 3 and a 2. It's never less than a 3, so that goes to 3. So 6 wounds in total. The Chimera only had 4 left, so it's gone.
Hellhound.
I can't call it Chimera, it's a Hellhound. So it's gone, but does it explode? Hellhounds blow up on a 4, and this is crucial, he's got a squad right next to it. A 6, it explodes. So yeah, it's burning, and it's going to explode. So D3 mortal wounds on the squad next to it, just the 1, so it's just a small explosion. Okay, so big success over there, and then we moved on to the small arms fire over here. So we had the Solar Atomizer, killed 2, I think. Gamma Pistol killed 1, and then we had these Rangers, and the shot at the unit behind only killed, no, it didn't kill any. They'd got all the armor saves, but then the Volkite Blaster clims 2 from the Tech Priest there. I wish you could fire that pistol as well, but because he's got a pistol and a heavy weapon, you can only fire 1, which is a shame. Wish you could fire them both. So the Volkite Blaster does do its special mortal wound thingy-mabob. So kills 2 of them. So the only thing we've got left to fire now, I think, yeah, the only thing we've got left to fire is the Castellan robot. So because this unit is really hurting now, we can fire overhead with our combustion flamers at the squad behind. So let's see how many shots they're going to get out of these. We're getting 8, that's very respectable, just a little over average. So these are effectively heavy flamers. The strength 5, and we're wounding on 3s. Right, that's pretty good. We've got 5 wounds there, AP minus 1, and you're saving on 6s for the squad behind. So here we go. Just do it there. Right, so 1 saves, 4 perish in the flames, the holy flames of the Omnissiah. Okay, that is the end of the shooting phase for the Mechanicus. It's been quite fruitful, and now it's time to put the hurt on this squad in front. So we're going to charge them with stuff that's way above their station. Got Belisarius, he's probably going to join the fight. Destroyers, they may go in. Robots, most definitely. There's Tech Priest, hopefully, and maybe even the Rangers. So we're going to overwatch, because we're going to start with the robots first. Right, so the robots are going in, but not before the overwatch was resolved. So 1 Plasma Gunner got his shot on overwatch and overcharge. So we're going to need to save on an invulnerable 4 on one of the robots, which we don't. So he's going to take 2 wounds, so he's back down to that halfway point. And then to add insult to injury, 2 las guns found the mark. So we're saving on 2s on the robots because of Shroud's arm and the rules inbuilt. So yeah, 2 saves. The robots will go in, but it was at the cost of 2 wounds. So let's see how far they go in. 6 inches, and then everyone else is going to try and join the fight as well. Alright, so the combat's over here. We've got all of our charges. So the destroyers have gone in on the sides. Belisarius goes route 1. And even this Tech Priest Dominus with his trusty cat unit gets in as well. The Datasmith has got in on the action. And the Armiger on this side, he rolls a 6-inch charge. He does take 2 damage in the Overwatch from the autocannon, which was tasty stuff. So he's got in. He's on this objective, so he's at least contesting it. Hopefully we'll be able to deal with that Salamander. And then we're going to pile in onto that unit behind because we are in range to do so. Okay, so Belisarius, he will attack first. So he's going to use his Super Omniscient Axe first. He's got 4 attacks, hits on 2s, gets them all. And then 2's to wound because it's strength 6. Alright, so there's 4 dead. There's no comeback from that because the AP -2. And then he's got his Mechatendrite Hive. So this is 2d6. So he's getting 5 attacks. And he's hitting on 2 of these. And then because we have Chant of the Remorseless Fist in effect, we can reroll 1s. And then strength 5 needing 3s. So you get 4 wounds, but you do get a save on your armour for these. Right, 4 armour saves to make on the flat armour 5s. So 3 more. So Belisarius alone has killed 7. Okay, so Belisarius piles in, and he piles in round the back, so he's still in contact with the last remaining member of that unit, but he is on the objective now, so we will be contesting that. The Tech Priest Dominus will now fight, so he's got 3 attacks with his Omniscient Axe. And he hits once, and he needs a 3 to wound. And he's duffed it. But we do have the trusty cat unit, so this is the Anzian Pseudo Genitor. So it's D6 attacks, and he's getting 5. So the cat strikes. It's going to claw his eyes out. So it hits on 3s with this. And we can reroll 1s because of Chant of the Remorseless Fist. So we get 2 hits, and it's at strength 4, but we can reroll filled wounds, and we're going to need to. So there's 1 wound, and it's AP -1. So you need to save on a 6 for the sole survivor.
Okay, he's a 6. That's not.
I can't see, so. But it wasn't a 6. So the last remaining survivor is dead. This Tech Priest will pile in somewhere. Okay, and because that's a wipeout, I get to pile in and consolidate, but not fight with the other things that have charged this turn. So the robots have piled in and consolidated onto this unit. We can't fight though, because it didn't declare them as a charger. And the Datasmith does the same. He piles in 3, doesn't fight because he didn't declare them, and then consolidates 3. So because we did charge that turn, we can do that, so it's good stuff. We've still got this Armiger to fight, so we're going to use the full-blooded hit from his Reaper Chainsword, Chainglaive. So he's got 4 attacks, and he hits on 3s. So he's made 3, and it's strength 6 times 2, so he's strength 12. Going to have to check the toughness of a Salamander, in fact. So it was worth a check. The Salamander is toughness 7, so we're wounding on 3s because we're strength 12. And we wound twice, so it's AP -3, so he's saving on 6s. Doesn't do it right, so it's a flat 3 damage each, so that's 6 wounds taken. Salamanders have 10 wounds, so 4 left. We would have had to get a clean sweep there to take it out, but the Salamander lives. So there we are, 4 wounds left on the Salamander. It's on its 2nd bracket of damage, and we did manage to tag that unit in combat as well. So the Renegades will fight back. These can pile in and fight, and the big squad here can pile in and fight. Okay, so he's fighting back with the Renegades. He doesn't want to pile in because he just wants to break away, but does fight, doesn't do any damage to that. Actually, no, he does do a wound, so we need to save that on a 3, which we do. It's dangerous against Catachan being strength 4. They can hurt these big machines. So over here, there's a lot of attacks. The 2 characters aren't in the combat, but all of the remaining squad are within 6 inches of the priest at the back there. We can just see him behind Cypher. Give them an extra attack. So a lot of attacks here, and needing 4s to hit. Okay, so that's pretty decent. That's about half. And then needing 5s to wound because they are Catachan at strength 4. Or they're puffed up on these toxic fumes that give them some sort of roided up effect. Right, so 1 wound on a robot, going to need a 3 to save, and we do. Hurrah! So that is the fight phase over, and we've moved on to the morale phase. So these rolled a 1 and passed the well supported. They've got the banner and the officer, giving them a +2 to the morale. So they did pass with flying colours, so they're still in the fight. And points wise for the Mechanicus. We didn't get this one because we failed to kill the salamander, so that's contested. In the centre we do have this one. We've got Cypher isn't on the objective, he's not near enough, and we control that with characters because characters trump troops. So we've got 3 characters on that one. A bit of overkill, but there we are. And over here, no one's on that one, so that one's up for grabs. But the Renegades are moving in, they're going to get into a fight with these priests, we think. But they are in support of the battle tank, so there's definite up for grabs for that one. But these two are being fought over ferociously, especially the one in the centre. Okay, turn 2 for the Renegades, the Grey Ghosts as they're known. So the attack in the middle has been well and truly repulsed by the Mechanicus, just hitting hard in the centre there. So they're still looking for the fringe objectives here. So we'll start over here. We've got this unit going in, claiming this objective. So they move around here, but the autocannon stayed still. So a quality shot's going to come in on those robots, no doubt. Still support from the battle tank at the back here, so deadly stuff. They stay still, of course, but this does spit out the command squad with the 2 melter guns, so they're going to try and take down the robots. Most of the squad that was locked up in combat have moved away from the combat. The Saiga, he's here, he's ready to deliver more warp charge smite goodness again. We've still got another battle tank at the back here going to contribute fire. The Operation Kill the Castellan robots is clearly in effect here. Sentinels up top still, and then over here just a reshuffle. So these peel off the combat, they can't fire, but they are claiming that objective. There's more models on there than, and they've got objective secured anyway. So the Salamander pulls away and is still in the objective also. And then again we've got the tank commander in the corner, and he's got shots on the night again. So plenty of firepower still left in the Imperial Guard Renegades. So expect big damage. And Cypher, he's going to contribute his 2-gun shots, his 2 pistols, Pistol Pete there. He's going to try and take down the robots as well. Okay, so we've got the Saiga. He's going to cast Smite on the nearest robot. He's got 3 wounds left, the robot, so he could go down off a choice Smite. And here he goes. Oh, it's a big Smite, it's a Mega Smite, but he has perils. So it's D6 mortal wounds for the robot. Nasty stuff. Okay, so it's D6 mortal wounds for the robot. He thought about re-rolling one of those 6s just to try and keep the Saiga safe, but the big Smite is just too much to resist. So D6 Smite on the robot. It's the full 6. So what we're going to have to do here is we play Benevolence of the Omnicide. So you play it when you've taken a mortal wound. So it's 1 command point, and we're definitely doing it here. He's a Mechanicus robot, so we get feel no pain saves essentially. So on 5+, we ignore wounds. We're probably going to go down. We've only got 3 wounds left, but any wound we save is a benefit here. So 5s. Oh, nothing. So we've lost a robot and 3 wounds on the other one. That's just superb smiting. But the front robot, does he blow up on a 6? He does not. So he goes down quietly, which is a big shame. Okay, so I couldn't have went any better for the Renegades. That was a 666 off the bat. So he's going to have to take Perils of the Warp for himself, so it's D3 mortal wounds. Yep. So it's 2 mortal wounds he takes, but that was well worth it. Okay, after that major psychic phase, orders, and we're ready to go into the shooting phase. So orders have take aim on the melter gun squad. Because the robot at the front has died, only one melter gun is in double dice range, so it's important for them, but they've got to take aim. This squad has get back in the fight so they can fire, as has this squad. And then the commander, he gave himself the order for move, 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 and he's ran all the way down to that objective. So getting the characters on objectives, remember, is the most important thing, because he will now score more points as the game goes on. So we're going to start shooting with the melter guns first. So which one are you doing first? The close range?
So the near one?
So the near one, he hits on a 3 because he's a veteran from a command squad.
Here we go.
So he does hit, and then the guy who's not got double dice.
To hit?
Yep, at long range. He gets to reroll 1s because of take aim. So 2 hits. Right, so the first one, the double dice guy, he wounds on a 3. Okay, so the guy with the double dice, he needs to wound on a 3. And he does wound. Okay, so we need to save that on a 4 because we've got Aegis Protocols. Gives us +1 our invulnerable save. We do save. That's crucial. Right, the second melter gun needs to wound on a 3. This is the long range one. He does wound as well, so we need to save this on a 4. It's a 6. It bounces back and kills one of the command squad.
Oh. Ouch.
Lovely. Alright, we had more shots here. We've got this squad fired into the Castellan robot with no damage. And we've got this squad with get back in the fight also fired at the robot. So 1 wound from a flamer we're going to have to save on a 3. Which we do. And then 1 autocannon got a hit on a 5. So and a wound. So we need to save this one on a 4. Yes, he's saving quite nicely. The Omnissiah is protecting us. Okay, so we had the Griffin at the back now fired over into this squad, killed 2 of the Rangers with the howitzer, and then the heavy bolter fired into the Castellan robot. Had to save on 2s and of course rolled a 1, so that's now on 2 wounds left. It's a really bad day to be a Castellan robot. Right, the 2 units have come under fire again. We've had he got shot by the heavy stubber and double heavy bolter from the Chimera. Went at each unit, saved. So the Chimera has spoken, but nothing coming its way. Okay, we had a few more pistols at the back at the Castellan robot, but no damage coming his way. Right, so now we've got some worrying shots going on here. We've got the 3 sentinels up top with the las cannons going to fire at the armiger. So what we're going to do before anything goes on, we're going to spend a command point and we're going to rotate iron shield. So we've got a 4+ invulnerable here, so you've got to shoot your las cannons off now. So 3s to hit. Sorry, 4s to hit. Yeah. So you get 2 hits in the distance there, and then 3s to wound. Need to double 1.
Come on, reroll.
Command point reroll in effect, and it's another one. Right, loads of success on the Castellan robot, but no luck on the armiger. So no command points coming back for the Renegades there. But I've got a feeling that this guy in the corner's got something to say about this.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to fire this tank at it first.
Okay, so we've got the other battle tank first. So he's going to do 2 battle cannon shots. And he's hitting on 4s, this guy, because he's not a tank commander. Right, he's changed his mind. That one's not going to fire yet, just in case that one does well, because he wants the option to fire at the Castellan robot. So the tank commander in the corner, so is it las cannon first or battle cannon first?
We'll do the last cannon.
Okay, so 1 shot, he's hitting on a 3, reroll 1s because he's got gunner's kill on sight, and he's rolled that dreaded 2. Can't reroll it because he's already used his reroll. So it's all down to the battle cannon now. This still could get the job done. He's got 9 shots. It's pretty nice. So he's hitting on 3s, rolling 1s. So brutal stuff, these battle cannons. So 3 1s to reroll. So far only 1 miss. Okay, 2 misses in the end. So strength 8 against toughness 7, needing 3s to wound. It's very, very good. 5 wounds. Oh dear. So it's AP -2. We're going to be saving on our invulnerable 4s here. So I'll just take this tray here. 4s, come on. Oh, 3 go through. We are going to command point reroll 1 of these. Yes, it was worth it. Right, so 2d3 damage on the robot. It's a double one. Great. Right, so that command point worked. There were 3 left with the Mechanicus, and no doubt the Imperial Guard have got millions left. So it's now onto this battle tank. Is that right?
Yeah, this one.
And now that has got the decisions to be made. Does it go for the Castellan? He's only got 2 wounds left, or does he try and peg the Armiger?
Which has 6 wounds left?
He's actually got 8 wounds left.
Oh. Well, leave him next to it.
Okay, so it's time to take out the robot then. So the battle cannon, how many shots is he getting? He's getting 6, but you're going to reroll because of Kachan Doctrine. 9, so steady 9 being pumped out from these battle cannons. So 4's to hit for this one. He's not a tank ace. So he's got only 3 hits. Yeah, he needs work before he gets his honours. Right, so 3's to wound against the robot.
Certainly needs work.
Right, just 1, but it might be all he needs. He's only got 2 wounds left, the robot. It's AP -2. We've got a +2 to our save and throw, so we're saving on 3s. And he's saved, luckily. Right, it's down to Cypher then. He's going to be the man to finish off the robot. So is he going to fire his bolt pistol or plasma pistol first?
Plasma first.
Okay, plasma first. So he's got 2 shots because he's a quick shot. So 2 shots hitting on 2s. He gets to reroll 1s though. And that plasma pistol never gives you wounds. So he's hit once. But 1s don't matter. It is classed as an overcharged pistol, but he never hurts himself because he's normally a good shot. But 1 wound. Wounds on a 3 now. It's strength 8. And he fails to wound. Okay, well he needs work on his aim. So he's now got a super bolt pistol, 3 shots. Rerolls 1s. He's obviously rocked to the core here for some reason. So he's got 1 extra hit because that just flipped over. Yeah. So 2 hits. Strength 4, so you need 5 to wound. Gets 1 wound. It's AP -1. So that cancels our Shroud Psalm, but we do still have Aegis protocols in effect. So save on 2s, which we get. Okay, we've got this battle tank now. He's going to fire the battle cannon at the destroyers in the distance there. This is the perfect weapon to take these out. So how many shots is he going to get out of this battle cannon? So he's getting 7. Do you want to reroll that 3, or are you happy with that?
Yeah, we'll try.
Okay, he's going to go for maximum. Oh, spit him in the end. So 6 shots, 4's to hit. He's better shot than the other one, so he's got 4 hits. And wounds on 3s because they're toughness 5. Mob, and it's a full house. Right, so we've got a 4+ save, and we're Shroud Psalmed. So we're saving on 3, and then it's AP -2, so back to 5s. We save 1, fail 2, so it's D3 each. And luckily you rolled a double 3 there. So he's killed 3. Oh, sorry, he's killed 2 at 3 wounds each. Okay, so that worked out in the end. So we've got the autocannon. It's going to try and finish off the last survivor. So 2 shots. He did stay still, so he's hitting on 4s. Gets 1 hit. Needs a 3. He gets it. AP -1's cancelled by the Shroud Psalm, so we're saving on a straight 4. We don't get it. He's taking 2 wounds. He's got 1 wound left. Alright, so with that, that concludes the turn. In fact, we've got to do a morale check there for that guy. 3, he's good. And there's a guy at the back there. He lost 2. He's good as well. So he's hanging on there. He's seen the elephant. Alright, that guy at the back, he's just totally rocked to the core. Right, so points wise, that's the end of firing. There's no charges going to be made because everyone dropped back. So these score a point for the Renegades, so 1 point there. Centre 1 still controlled heavily by the Mechanicus, and over here it's got a character and a squad there, so definitely seal that objective. Okay, turn 2 for the Mechanicus, so it's we're getting where we need to be. We need to start getting the points in because we're wilting in the face of all this firepower. So Belisarius stays where he is, just about. He rotates a little bit. He's on the objective still, so we're going to pick up 2 points at the end of the turn. That's crucial stuff. And he did, at the end of the turn, heal the Castellan robot, the destroyer rather. So he's on full health now. This Knight goes forward. He advances just a little bit as well. He's just trying to get deeper in the lines. This repositions just slightly, and then the Electro Priests have burst through the door there. They're going to finally get to grips with something that can handle its team on team there. Let's get a closer look, because these Electro Priests always have a hard time. They're in the element here, so there's quality shots going to come in on this unit, and they could take that objective, and then they surely die to that battle cannon, but they're going to have their place in the sun while it lasts. And over in the centre here, this robot's going to continue its business with the Data Smith in tow. The Tech Priest Dominus, he's gone through this gap. There's a little gap there. You can just see he's going to go through there and add to this fight over here. So we've got the Armiger Knight, he's just staying put on the objective. We've got that lone survivor Ranger. He's going to come into the fight. He's going to shoot the commander with his brutal pistol. Well, it looks brutal, but it's not that impressive, but still. He's going to get revenge. And then the final thing that happens is the infiltrators arrive 9 inches away from everything. They're going to contribute where it matters most. We're going to try and take this objective from the Renegades once and for all. And other big news, we healed the robot fully. So we healed it with 2 wounds remaining, and then we used a stratagem, Tech Adept, to heal him again. So he's now on full health and he's ready to rock. Okay, we started shooting with the Mechanicus. The flamer from the heavy flamer from the robot burns out that melter gun squad. There was only 3 left, and he burnt them out well and truly. So he's succeeded in revenge for his mate. The other thing we fired is this Ranger fired his blast pistol and took a chunk off the head of the commander, failed his save. So he's got revenge. He's been through hell. This guy's lost all of his squad, and he's ready to take him to task with the power maul when he gets in there, or the arc maul as it's called. Alright, we've come over here for the Electro Priest. So full squad of 5. Going to try and give these the taste of the Omnissiah ultimate power. So these have played Take Cover. So they've got +1 to their save and throw when it comes. So we've got 15 shots. Any 6s are additional 2s to hit. 2 hits. So we'll take out the misses first. And we've only got 1 6 in there. That's a shame, because that means it's an extra 2 attacks. So these are all strength 5. So we're needing a wound on 3s. This might not be as good as I thought it was, especially when we roll like that. So we've lost a couple there. Could have been better. So 8 wounds, and you need to save on 4s because of Take Cover. Oh, still, that's 5 dead. 5 tasted the power of the Omnissiah.
1 point. Reroll.
Right, coming all the way over to the other side of the battlefield now. We've got the infiltrators going to fire the flechette blasters into this big squad here. So we've got all firing 5 shots each. It's very, very tasty stuff. So we're hitting on 3s, and we've missed quite a few there. We're thinking about playing the thing that gives us +1 to hit, but we didn't. So we came away with that many hits. So we're wounded on 4s, and that is okay. So that many wounds. So there's 5, 6, 7, 8 wounds on that squad. Save on 5s. There's no AP on this. So there's 4, 5 dead from that squad. Okay, we're going to fire on the same squad again. We're going to have the Tech Priest Dominus. He's going to fire his macro stubber at that squad. So he's got 5 shots, hitting on 2s, hits them all. Strength 4, so needing 3s to wound. We get 3 wounds. You need to save on 5s for that squad. Coming under major pressure here. So saves 1, 2 more. Okay, we're zooming all over the battlefield now. We'll come back over here. We've had the Onega Dune Crawler. We're firing the neutron laser at that Lehman Russ, and we've fired the heavy stubbers up at the Sentinels. Caused a wound on the Sentinels as well. So the neutron laser, the big gun, this is the tasty one. D3 shots on that. It's the full 3. That's lovely to see. So hitting on 3s against it, and we can re-roll all failed hits because we're within 9 of Belisarius. That's a cocked die. We'll roll that again. That's a 1. Okay, 3s to wound. Oh. Oh. Do we want a command point reroll? No. I'm going to move on to this armiger. He's going to fire the melter gun at Cypher. He is the closest, and then the thermal spear at the Griffin, because that's wounded. I've got a better chance of hurting that. So here we go. Melter at Cypher because he's the nearest. It's hit. 2's to wound. Wounds him. He's got an invulnerable force save. He's filled it, and he's already used the command reroll on the captain before. So it's D6 damage. It's only a 2. Do I want to command point reroll that and take Cypher out? Ooh, no, we're just going to leave it. Two's good enough because we need to keep our command points in hand. So a thermal spear at the Griffin. So we're only getting 1 shot, and we've hit, and we don't wound. So not a good day for heavy weapons over here. Right, to finish off the shooting, we fired the destroyer at the Griffin. You can just see the side. Only took a wound off it. We didn't dare overcharge either, for obvious reasons. Right, so the only thing we've got left to fire now is this, and we're going to put all weapons. We really wanted to shoot something more meaty, but we're going to have to see off this this scout tank. So all guns into this. So the melter first, the regular melter. It does hit. Wounds on a 3. Just can't get these wounds for some reason. Do we want to command point this? I don't think so. We're going to leave it at the thermal spear. He's only getting 1 shot, and he's hit. We're needing a 3, and we've rolled another 2. We can't get away from 2s. Right, we're going to have to command point reroll this because we can't allow this salamander to live any longer. So it does wound. There's no save you can make there. It's only got 4 wounds left, so the best of 2 dice for damage. Come on, please. Right, we've got it. It's gone. Does it explode on a 6? It doesn't. Thank the Omnisire. Right, that is the end of the shooting for the Mechanicus. It's time to roll up our sleeves and get in there and make it dirty. So we're charging with the robot first, and he's charging all 3 units. We've done the Overwatch already, and he hasn't taken any wounds. So the plan is we'll go down this channel here and get in on the Psyker and wring his neck. So to get in on him, we're going to need a 10 on the dice, and then anything else we'll just have to see. So he needs a 10 to get where he wants to go. He's only got a 5. We've got a command point up our sleeve, but we're just going to leave it there. So he's going 5. Okay, we've got the Data Smith. He's going to join the fight as well. So we're going to try and go through the middle of this squad here and get to the Psyker, but we'll have charged the squad and the Psyker. Resolved Overwatch, no damage. So we just need to get as far as we can, really. And a 6 won't be ideal, unfortunately. Okay, so the Data Smith only goes 6. He gets in as deep as he can. We're going to have to see how all of that pans out in the future. So over here we're going to have the Infiltrator is going to charge in on the Tank Commander, and he's going to play defensive gunners to try and help him out in the Overwatch. So he's going to hit on 5s. Got plenty of command points to do this kind of stuff with. So the Battle Cannon only gets 1 shot because it's grinding advance only works in the shooting phase. So he can re-roll that though because he's Catachan and try and get better volume. It's still a 2. So 5s to hit them. Doesn't get any. Right, the last cannon needs a 5. No.
Oops.
Nope. Right, so he doesn't get it. Right, we're going to need a 9 to get in on him. Oh, it's so close. Do we want to use a command point reroll? Because if we do, we can just silence him in the game. He's right in the corner. We have nowhere to go. This could be big. Oh, we don't want to use a command point though, because it's our last command point. Alright, we've got charges over here. We had to take on a flamer, killed one in the Overwatch, and then no other damage. So we're needing a 7-inch charge to get in on these. Oh yes, it's a mighty 9. Right, finished charges on this side as well. So the Armiger goes in on the Commander. The Wrathful Ranger goes in on the Commander as well. And then behind them comes the Tech Priest Dominus. Out the shadows, survived the Flamer and the autocannon shots and goes in with his precious cat unit. It is now time to feel the wrath of Mars. Okay, so we're going to fight with the Armiger Knight first. We're going to use his smashing blow. It's a smashing blow. So he's got 4 attacks, it's 3 damage. He's only got 3 wounds left. This is why we're not doing the reaping blow. So we're just banking it all on this. So he's got 4 attacks, hits on 3s. He makes 3 of them. Okay, so we're wounded on 2s. Okay, all wound, that's a successful roll as far as I'm concerned. He needs to save on his refractor field of 5. If he even drops one of these, he's dead.
Oh.
All but 1. Do you want to use a command point reroll?
Well, if I can, yes.
Command point reroll. This is crucial to stay alive. He's dead. He is dead, so he's fallen. He's not going to take that objective anymore, and that's the commander point there for Slay the Warlord. Right, coming over here now, almost forgot, because these successfully charged, that's how many successful charges the manages to make when I'm playing them, but the successful charge, and you immediately roll as many dice as there are models. On 6s, it's mortal wounds for this team. So 6s, no, so no mortal wounds for them. And then, do you want to play counter-offensive here? Because
yes, please.
Talked about. Okay, so they are playing counter-offensive. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then 3 attacks on the sergeant. So 6 attacks.
See if we get it back.
And he does get the command point back. So that add to his plenty of command points.
Yeah, can't spend it.
Okay, so hitting it on 4s, but these are Catachan at strength 4.
So 3.
So 6 attacks.
4, 5, 6.
4s to hit.
Needed.
Yeah. That's pretty good. There's 4 hits, and then 3s to wound, because they're Catachan. And they're hopped up on steroids with that respirator. There's 3 wounds. So we need to save off invulnerable 5s. Oh, and then feel no pain. Come on, priest. Oh, I've lost another one. Okay, tough fight over here. Let's take it. Okay, the priests are going to attack back. 2 attacks each. Hitting on 4s, any 6s, and an additional 2 hits. Okay, so we've missed with the majority there, but we did get a 6, so 2 go back. And then strength 5, so we need 3s. We get 3 wounds. So 7 on 5s on that flak armour. And 1 saves, 2 go down, so a really tough fight in the centre. Okay, hold the phone, the fight is not over. I forgot that I've got Chant of the Remorseless Fist, so I've got 2 1s to hit, which I can re-roll, so needing 4s again. And we missed anyway, okay. As we were. Right, so we'll complete the fights elsewhere because they were just easy fights. The Tech Priest Dominus goes in, just lets the cat just beat them all down. There's only 2 left, so he's taken them all out. And then the robot, pitiful robot, kills 1 guardsman, and then he misses his attacks with the Power Fist. They all attack back, nothing happens to the robot, but the priest, the Datasmith, sorry, takes a wound. Not very good, those robots. Terrible in a combat. Alright, so that is the end of all fighting for this turn, so we're going to have to calculate points. So we've got 1 point here because we're taking this objective now. We've got 2 for Belisarius, still holding that objective behind the crates because he's now been on there for 2 turns. So there's 3. And then this one, there's no morale check to take here because he's spent 2 command points to do insane heroism, and because these have got objective secured, he will still claim that one, so no points there. Okay, and we've got an extra point for the Warlord kill on that turn, let's not forget, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 for the Warlord. Okay, it's turn 3. It's really touch and go now. Could go either way. It's very, very close. So the Mechanicus roll for the Canticles again. They've got exactly the same as the last 2 turns. We've got Shroud's Arm and Chant of the Remorseless Fist again. So that's exactly what we want. We're in good places for that. So the Renegade Guard now need to try and hold and capture as much as they can. So this battle tank rumbles forward. It's going to deal with the Electro Priests. These have dropped out of combat and moved around the back, so they've taken that objective. These 2 stay still once again, and over here it's going very well for them. Loads of long runs. So the lieutenant comes down from here. He's now contesting that objective, and then Cypher's moved in as well, and now they've wrestled that objective off Belisarius. We left a little window there, just totally didn't see that one, and they've now taken that off of Belisarius. If that didn't happen, then Belisarius would be getting 3 points at the end of the next turn, but I've just totally botched that. And now Cypher, in his mysterious ways, is just going to undo all of our well-laid plans. Over here, all these peel off this combat. and then the lieutenant is going to give them, he's actually a company commander, but he's going to give them 2 orders, so both of them get back in the fight, and then more smite over here. So the robot is being isolated, and we're going to see what happens to him. And then the character is a priest, a dark priest. He's ran an amazing run. He got 5, so he's ran all the way around. He's trying to contest this objective, but it doesn't really say in the mission what happens when you've got 2 characters on the same objective. So what we're playing is, if you've got 2 characters on the objective, it both cancels each other out, just like objective secured would, and then it reverts back to how many models you've got on the objective. That's the best way we're going to slice it. We're both happy with that. So he's almost contesting it, but we do have enough models there, unless the Renegades can shoot down some choice units in there. Alright, so psychic phase, we've got smite from the Primus Psyker, the fallen Primus Psyker on the robot. Hope it's not a super smite again. It's not, it's just a normal smite. It's a D3, mortal wounds for his troubles. Just the one.
Come on, reroll.
Yep, just a thought. Command point reroll. Is he going to get the big 3? He does get the big 3. Right, so the robot is halved in his wounds again. Right, so the start of firing have the Renegades. Pistols at dawn here, and a flamer and a las guns at the data smith saves them all. His armor just bounces off. And then we moved straight on to the tank commander in the corner here. He fired the las cannon at that knight with rotated ion shields and saved, and then battle cannon at this unit here, and he's killed every single one. Just got a double 6 for how many shots, and that squad is no more, so they're now removed. Okay, moved over here for shooting. It's really, really dangerous. He was going to fire Cypher at Belisarius, but realised he could fire through the gap at that tech priest on the other side, and if he killed him he would actually get this objective because of his character. 2 choice plasma shots and he blew him in half at 2 damage each. He's only got 1 wound left. Couldn't finish him off with his special bolt pistol, and neither could that last pistol, so really worrying times there. He's only got 1 wound left, and we thought he was safe. So it's now time for those las cannons upon high. They're going to fire at the armature. So there's 3 las cannons, and he's hit on 4s. He's got 1 hit, and needs a 3 to wound. Doesn't get it. He's already used his command point reroll earlier on with the commander in the tank over there. So got away with it again. Right, more shots from the Renegades. We've had this battle tank fire everything at that Castellan robot and didn't do anything. Now we've got the Griffin mortar firing over at this last remaining guy. It's so unfortunate for him, but he's rolled badly. He's only got 1 wound on this last remaining ranger. We can save it on a 5. We've got shrouds on, but it ignores cover and it's AP -1. So here we go, needing a 5 to keep this ranger alive, please. For the mercy of the Emperor. No, he's gone. But still, we've got 2 models on that objective, just. Right, over here now, the priests are under pressure. The Chimera's fired all of its weapons. The Stubber didn't do anything, but 2 heavy bolters have caused 2 wounds. We need to save on 5. We'll get 1, then we need to feel no pain. We get it. They're hanging in there for dear life.
Yeah, right.
Okay, and just as we say that, the battle cannon turns its turret, and I think it's over for these guys now. So, how many shots? 9 shots. Let's get these resolved, see what happens. Okay, after it's all said and done, there's 4 wounds being put on the electro priests. Need invulnerable 5s to come to the rescue again. That's a good start. So 2 go through, and you're going to have to do D3 damage on each. So the first one is worth 3, and the second one is worth 2. So the one that's worth 3 needs 5. Oh, it was a good effort, but one of them's dead. And the second one, oh, he's dead. No matter about that dice that went off the table. So we've got 1 electro priest remaining. Alright, so the Renegades have finally run out of shots. So the electro priest will survive. And he's still, thank God. So his leadership 8, so he won't take a morale check either. And the flamer was mercifully out of range. So that is the end of the shooting phase, so it's time for points. So the Renegades are going to pick up 1 point here because these have got objective secured, so they're going to take that one. So there's 1 point there. And then, of course, over here, we've lost this objective. Belisarius has lost it, just slipped through his fingers. There's 2 characters there, of course, because they're both characters. They would cancel each other out, and then the lieutenant joined the fray as well. So he's got more models on that objective, which is what we're playing. So he's got that objective for 1 point. So there's 2 points. And over here, he was trying to contest it. If only he killed more, he almost did. We've got more models there because we've both got a character each, so same sort of principle on both objectives. So the characters are holding on to that one, but the Renegade's going to pick up 2 points in this game. Very, very close. Alright, it's Mechanicus turn 3. It's so close, so much has happened and it's only turn 3. We're going to have to wrestle back this middle objective. So Belisarius has just peeled around the corner here. Just if we have to, we can charge these. We don't want to, but it's desperation time. Hopefully we can solo atomize Cypher into dust. I've got the support from him. He's going to contribute his fire. If we can't kill these 2 guys with these 2, then there's just no justice. We've got the Onega Dunecrawler. It's pulled back a little bit. It's going to fire double stubbers over at this remaining squad. We'll fire the neutron laser at something nice. The priest is going to try and see them off as well if that doesn't happen, and hopefully we can get that objective for at least 1 turn. Over here the tech priest just stands strong on this objective. We did heal ourselves but only 1 wound, so he's got 2 wounds remaining and he's just going to have to take out this guy. And then off goes the other armiger to try and sort out that tank in the corner, because we can't allow it to just keep on firing. We're hoping that would have dealt with it sooner. The thermal spears haven't been doing anything this game on the knights. Hopefully this is the turn where they'll chime in. Okay, and over here we're going to we've repaired 2 wounds on the Castellan robot, so he's got 5 wounds remaining now, and he is going to charge. We're also going to change the protocols for next turn, so where he can't fire his flamer anymore, but he will fight twice in the combat phase. But you've got to do that a turn in advance, so we've finally played that. Now he's amongst the tanks. That hopefully he can make something of himself. And over here we've had the other armiger. He's ran across here. We're going to try and get into combat with this tank, try and chop it up. If not, we're going to try and thermal spear the Griffin while we're at it, because we need to start taking out vehicles. It's been really hard. We rolled badly in the last 2 turns to try and take stuff out with our big heavy weapons. Fingers crossed. Blessings from the Omnissiah this round. Right, we're going to start the shooting phase with this Electro Priest. He's got 3 shots, and he's played the stratagem for take cover, so they're going to be saving on 4s, unfortunately. So 3 shots, and he's hit with 2. No additional shots there, unfortunately. So strength 5, needing 3s. We'll get 1. He needs to save on a 4 with take cover. Goes down. Command point reroll, because this is crucial. He saves. Oh no, we need this objective. Right, we need to get rid of that squad in there, so we've got the double stubbers at that squad in there, and then the neutron laser is going to fire at the Griffin again, because we need to take out that artillery fire. So here we go, hitting on 3s. We haven't got rerolls from Belisarius. He's walked away. He's forgotten about his tank, and we need those rerolls. Okay, stubbers, wound on 3s. We'll get 3. But because he's played take cover, he's got saves of 4 again, so 3 dice, saving on 4s. Could he get it? No, triple 1. The Emperor has spoken. Shy from the light of the Emperor, you do not save. So that's crucial. Finally freed that objective up for that last remaining priest. Okay, neutron laser now at the Griffin at the back. Here we go, D3 shots. We're getting 2 shots, that's respectable. 3s to hit. Only 1 hit, 3 to wound. We do wound this time. It's AP -4, so there's no save. And then it's D6 damage, but it's never less than 3. So 4 damage on the Griffin. It's already taken 4 wounds, so I believe it's got 3 left. Right, we're going to have this armiger. He's going to fire the carapace mounted melter gun at this battle tank, and then the thermal spear at the Griffin. It's on 3 wounds left. Hopefully we can take it out. If we just shave off 1 wound, then it's hitting on 6s, which is fine with us. So the melter does hit, needing a 4 to wound. Don't wound. Right, thermal spear at this. We're getting 2 shots, hitting on 3s. Get both. Wound on 3s. We'll get 1, that's enough. So it's no save, and then D6 damage. Actually, it's double dice. Pick the best, because we are within 15. 3 will do. It's gone. Does it explode on a 6? It does explode. That's D3 wounds for the Chimera in front, just the 1. Okay, it's time for the revenge of the Data Smith. He's going to shoot his gamma pistol at the Renegade Psyker. He could kill him with a shot, and he deserves to. He's been hurting these precious robots all this time, so it's time for a reckoning. So hitting on 3s. He's hit. It's strength 6, so a wound on 2s. He's wounded. It's AP -2. We're going to have to check if his Psyker has an invulnerable save. Okay, just had a quick check on his profile. It was worth it to see if he had a refractor field, because he doesn't. He's been gamma pistoled and killed. Finally, justice for his fallen robots have been smote, smitten, smited, you name it. Right, so we'll fight back with our flamer on the flamer squad itself, and only killed one. So the robot has obviously got eyes for this tank. That's why he's not bothered with his flamer. Right, on the other side of the boxes here, we're going to have Belisarius. He was prepared to solar atomize Cypher right in front of him. So here we go. It's D3 shots. It's just a 1, but it might be enough. He hits on a 2. He's hit. It's strength 10, so we're wounded on a 2 as well. We do wound. Cypher's got an invulnerable 4 save, and it's D6 damage at this range. So I need to save on a 4. Right, I've got the plasma culverin now. It's going to fire at Cypher. Here we go. Actually, we'll do the flamer at the renegade guy next to him, and then we'll do the culverin at Cypher, because we are within 8. So the flamer is getting 6. So 3's to wound. All wound. Needs to save on his refractor field of 5. Even though, actually, it'll be 4 because he's got cover there behind the crane.
That's 6.
So needing 4s to save behind there. He's taking 2 wounds. That's really good from him. Right, now the super plasma cannon at Cypher. 6, exactly what we wanted. Right, 4s to hit. Okay, reroll because of Belisarius. Okay, we've got 5 hits. So we're wounded on 3s. We'll get 3 wounds. That could be enough to see him off. So he's got his invulnerable 4 saves again. He's failed 2. So he's, I think he's got 1 wound left. Okay, so in my haste, I've just totally, or I might have just botched this whole thing. I could have had 2 victory points here if I don't kill this priest. I'm thinking that he's only got 1 wound when actually he has 4. So there's no guarantee I'm even going to kill him here. And he's got a Rosarius, so he's got an invulnerable 4, or a corrupted Rosarius rather. So we're going to turn back and shoot Cypher and try and take his last wound off. But we're going to have to shoot this guy because we've just totally underestimated what he could do. And because we've moved everybody away, we'll not be controlling that objective, thinking that he was an easy kill, but that is not the case. So anyway, here we go. We've got the plasma. It's the Volkite blaster. Can we just shave off a few wounds? So we've hit with them all because it's a heavy weapon, and we're needing 2s to wound because it's strength 6. If we rolled any 6s, that would have been mortal wounds, but it's not to be. So he's saving on 4s. Right, he's failed 2. That means he's only got 2 wounds left, which is essential. Okay, we're really kicking myself over here. We're going to have to be desperate as well. We're going to fire the mini melter gun on top of their back at the Ministorum priest. He's just within 12, luckily. We weren't planning on doing that, but that's what we're going to have to do. And then the thermal spear is going to be at the tank for sure. So the mini melter does hit. Needs 2 to wound. We do wound. He's got an invulnerable 4 save. Right, thermal spear into the corner. He's got 3 shots. Okay, 3's to hit. Got 2 hits. And then against the tank we're needing 4s to wound. We'll get 1 wound, no save because it's AP -4, so double dice, pick the best. So 5 wounds on the main guy in the corner. Okay, so that's the end of the fire, so we're going to have to start charging people. So we're going to have the Tech Priest Dominus charge him. Going to have to get it done in combat. He's hit with his last pistol in Overwatch, needs a 5, doesn't do it. Right, so we'll obviously make our charge, so it's just a little bit away, so in he goes. So he's got his Omniscient axe to do it, and of course this trusty cat unit, which I absolutely love. Alright, over here we'll have the Armiger charging in on this tank. He played defensive gunners, got 2 choice hits with the battle cannon, but saved on a double 6. And then we went and rolled a 6, which is not what we need. So we've failed the charge there. Gruesome, gruesome stuff. Alright, we've got this Castellan robot is going to go in, and we've got this armature going in here as well. And then we'll have Belisarius, he's going to charge Cypher, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so finish the charge phase, we've made our charges elsewhere. So robot goes in, Datasmith goes in, Belisarius goes in, no damage, and this guy goes in and takes 2 wounds. So we need to get it done in combat here. It was a real shame on that side. It's been a botch after botch for the Mechanicus. They're getting old and senile. Let's see if they can get it done in combat. We'll have Shroud's Arm, and we've got Chant of the Remorseless Fist. So we're going to lean on Chant of the Remorseless Fist as reroll 1s in combat. Let's hope we can get it done. Okay, we're going to start over here with this fight between the Dominus and this Ministorum Priest. He's got 2 wounds left, and so has he. So we're going to start with the Omniscient Axe first. So we're hitting on 3s. We're going to reroll 1s, but that goes straight. Right, we're wounding on 2s, we're wounding on 3s, I think. So there's 2 wounds. He's got his Rosarius, his Corrupted Rosarius, and this is 2 damage each. So if he fails 1, he's dead. He's failed 1, he can reroll because it's a different phase. So this is a command point reroll. And he fails, he's being cut down. The beads of sweat have ran down his metal face. And he's finally claimed that objective. It would have been so embarrassing not doing that. Right, Belisarius' turn. He's going to try and do Cypher in. So he's got 4 attacks with his Omniscient Axe. He hits on 2s, we can reroll 1s because of the Chant of the Remorseless Fist, and we get 4. 3s to wound for Belisarius. We get 3. So it's invulnerable force saves for Cypher. If he fails one of these, he goes down. He's failed 1 and he's dead. Okay, we've just quickly resolved the fights elsewhere. So over here, 6 damage on this Lehman Russ. He's on his 2nd tier and he is smoking. 6 wounds left on him. And then down here, we've got 2 Power Fist wielding Mechanicus units. Only managed to put 5 wounds on this tank. But at the start of the next turn, he'll not be able to use his Flamer, but he'll be able to start attacking twice. So, there we have it. That's the end of the Mechanicus turn. So, killed some choice units there. It was really touch and go. Really did it ourselves. Silly stuff going on. Right, so he's controlled that objective for 2 straight turns now. So that's 2 points there. Belisarius, there's 2 characters on this objective, but we do have more models because this guy's now gone on it. So we'd control that one for 1 point, unfortunately. So 2 points there, 1 point there, and then this brave priest is rescuing this one. So there's 4 points for that turn. Okay, Renegade Guard, movement phase, they're doing some, or they're pulling out some crafty tricks now. So here's what they've done. So this tank peels off combat, so is this one on the far side. So no shots from these this turn. This stays still, he's going to try and get shots through the window at the last remaining Electro Priest, so it's very possible that could happen. So what's happened over here is the Lieutenant, he's peeled off combat, he goes 6 to there. He then orders himself to advance. To move. So he gets to move again. He can't advance because of the rules of dropping out of combat. So he's gone 12. He's within range of that objective to take that objective. Then this squad advances round here. He gives them an order to advance again. And they go there. So they're in front of the Tech Priest. He's going to claim this objective because he's got a character and more models. So trickery going on here.
Yeah, it might be worth noting that he's not actually a lieutenant, he's a captain.
Well, yeah, he's a company commander, but he's lieutenant. Just in name, he's a good lieutenant. And these just advance around the corner, so they're not going to join the combat. But the plan has worked for the Renegades. They're going to take a point there and crucially stop 3 victory points coming in for the Mechanicus next turn by taking that objective. But we will heroically intervene when the time comes. So over here, just a still ongoing fight between this useless armager and that useless tank commander, and that is it. So firepower's starting to slow down for the Imperial Guard now, but they've got some points in hand, possibly. Alright, orders over here. This tank commander, he's got gunners, kill on sight, he's going to reroll 1s. So there's no rotate iron shields anymore, we've run out of command points a long time ago, so he's going to drill this armager once and for all. So las cannon, he does hit, needs a 3 to wound, Does wound, right, we need to save on an invulnerable 5. We don't do it, of course, so D6 damage, it's 5. Alright, so we've got 3 wounds left on the armiger. Let's just keep a tally here. 3 wounds left, now the battle cannon will erupt. So 2d6, it's got 9 shots. Now here we go, hitting on 3s, reroll on 1s. Reroll 1s. So 2 misses in there. So 3s to wound, this will be the end of the night. It's been a pitiful attempt on him. And there's 5 wounds. We'd have to save on 5s. Got no choice. Alright, save 2, 3 go through. It doesn't matter about the D3 damage because we only had 3 wounds left. The knight goes down and doesn't explode. So pitiful attempt up the road here, and the commander has his way. He's got free reign now to shoot in on that tech priest next turn. Right, now we've got 3 lascannon sentinels going to fire at this armiger. He's going to just try and wipe them all out in one go here. So he got 2 hits, 3s to wound. Both wound, right. Invulnerable 5, save us. We get 1, fail 1. And it's the full 6 damage. He's taken 8 wounds. He's got 4 left. Tragic. Right, this Chimera now is firing through at the Electro Priest. So double heavy bolters in the stubber. He's got 4 wounds to save because it's all the same. Needs thermal pins, and he dies twice over. So we've lost that objective now. Terrible stuff. Okay, so closing down the shooting phase now. There's one thing left to shoot, and that's this flamer, because it's an assault weapon, can still fire at this tech priest. So we're going to get 1 hit, but he's wounded. We need to save on a 2, and we do save. Right, so it's charge phases. No one's charging, but we will heroically intervene with our Dominus here. So he's going to go into this squad like that, and because it's your turn, you can fight first because it's not a charge. So you've got
3, 4,
5 attacks. 5 attacks hitting
6
4.
He's got on weapon.
Well, he shouldn't because he's
part
of a different squad.
Yes, there's been a bit of confusion there.
Right, so quick change about. There's actually just 2 in that squad. That guy joined. He's too eager from that squad at the back. Right, so you do fight first here. So you got 3 attacks from the sergeant, 1 attack from his friend there. So 4 attacks. Hitting on 4s, he gets 2. 4s to wound because they are catachan. So 2 wounds. They're doing well in combat. Just got some dice. Saving on 2s. He's only got 2 wounds left. If we roll double 1, we'll cry. Oh, just nearly. Right. So we're going to attack back with our omniscient axe here. Hitting on 3s. And we get 2. And actually we've got the litany of the Electromancer. So on a 6 they'll take a mortal wound. No. So anyway, there's 2 hits so far. And wound on 3s. So we get 2 wounds. It's AP -2. We've killed them both. Spectacular job. Right, that's the end of the fight phase. The Dominus reigns supreme there, but with that character within 3, he's contesting this objective. He almost would have wrestled that off him, but because of that choice heroic intervention, it's now just contested. So he's going to stop this tech priest getting 3 points in the next turn, because no one's getting any points for that this round. No one's around to take that objective, and that one's now freed up as well. So no points for the Renegades that turn in a game where it's very, very close. It's 9-8 to the Mechanicus, and we're going to move into the Mechanicus' turn now. Okay, both sides have got very little left now, and everything's in a bit of a state. So this moves back. It's going to fire through this gap at the tank in the distance if that armiger doesn't take it out itself. And because we need to go there and take that objective, we would assault it, but we need points just to make sure we take this home. Belisari is still in the objective in the middle, so that's going to be worth 2 at the end of the round. And we've got this contest over here, so we're going to try and take out the character leader there and take this objective. We've got to stop that horde from around the corner and try and dodge all the firepower from that tank. It's a hard ask. And then up there, the robot and his helper. He's repaired the robot, so he's on full health now, and he's just going around giving him a pat on the back, telling him to keep on doing what he's doing. And of course the protocols have changed now to he fights twice, so it's very good stuff. And he healed 2 wounds on himself, so he's got 3 wounds left now. Okay, we're going to try and speed things up. We're going to just go through the shooting phase here. So we've had the stubbers at the Chimera, didn't do anything, and the neutron laser fired at the softened up battle tank here after the thermal spears, and we finally killed it in the corner. So it's dead now. There's one battle tank out the way, but it took all of our firepower to do it. And then over here, Gamma Pistols brought this down to its second tier. 5 wounds remain on this, and the robot is ready to strike now and finish it off. And then over here, we've still got this to fire, so we're going to do Volkite Blaster at the commander there. So here we go, Volkite Blaster hitting on 3s because it's a heavy weapon. We did move. So we've got 2 hits, and we need 2s to wound, 6s and mortal wounds in addition. So there's 2 wounds he needs to save on his refractor field of 5. There's 2 wounds, he's dead. Do you want a command point reroll that, just to try and keep him alive?
No.
No, okay, so he goes off to the great void beyond to be devoured by the gods. Okay, we're not doing any charges with the tech priest, we don't want to take ourselves off the objective over there. And we've made it into combat here. Took 2 wounds on the Castellan robot, but we did charge both tanks. And he's in on the Ditsmith is in on this Chimera, so he's got the protocol to fight twice. We're going to fight once against this Leman Rust, see what happens. So we're hitting on 4s. Actually, we've got Litany the Electromancer, so on a 6 it's a mortal wound. No, and then he's got on a 6 it's a mortal wound. No. Right, so here we go. Fists at dawn. 4s to hit. He's hit once. Needs a 3. Gets it. Right, he needs a save on a 6 because it's AP3. Doesn't get it, that's 3 damage, so he's got 2 wounds left. Alright, now the Mini-Man, he's going to fight 2 attacks on the Chimera. He's got 1 hit, no wound. Right, so now we will fight again with the Castellan robot, and he's going to fight the tank again. Here we go. And he's missed. Alright, so that's the end of the turn for the Mechanicus. So, right, points. We've got 1 point over there. We've got 1 point over here for controlling this objective because it was contested the last time. So back to a fresh point. And I think this is worth 2. It might be worth 3, but we're just going to say 2. So we've got 4 points for that turn. This might pull us ahead, out of reach. Okay, speeding things along as fast as we can for this next turn. We've got the Chimera, it's peeled off combat there, it's went over, can't contribute this turn, and we've still got the Sentinels there ready to fire, and the chap in the corner, just sitting politely, he's going to fire into the Tech Priest Dominus now that he can. So, no orders can be made, except he's going to reroll once for himself, but so it's just the infantry all alone now. So, these have already fired, and 2 wounds on the Tech Priest through a frag grenade. So 7 on 2s, he's got 3 wounds left. We don't want to see any 1s. And we cut 1-1. He's a hard luck case, this guy over here. He's been battling well. He's normally a hero, and he will be a hero if he survives this battle cannon onslaught. So he's got 2 wounds left, and the battle cannon will now speak. Are you just going to do the last cannon first, see if you can polish him off with a well placed shot?
Last
so
cannon.
hit on a 3. Fails. Gets a 2. Can't reroll unless he wants to spend his last command point.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go, last command point. And he's hit. Right, he needs a 2 to wound. Gets the wound. Right, we haven't got Shroud's Arm in effect this turn. We've got +1, reroll 1s to hit in combat and reroll 1s to shoot. So, no Shroud's Arm, so he's saving on a 5 refractor field. Yeah!
Oh, he's a diehard.
Praise the Omnissiah.
Battle cannon.
Right, battle cannons, here we go. This is where it gets ugly. So we can reroll that 2 because he's catch-hand trained. So 8 shots. Hit on 3s, reroll 1s. If this is not the end of him, then I don't know what to say. Okay, it's good. Spread of hits there, only 2 misses. And wound on 2, so he's only toughness 4 against that mega battle cannon. Alright, all but 1, so 5 wounds. So it's AP -2, and we've got 2 plus save. 7 on 4s. Can he do it? It's a good attempt, but 2 go through. Doesn't matter what the damage is because he's only got 2 wounds left. So he's dead, and that's freed that objective up for that infantry unit there. And unfortunately,
You get the pet cat.
the cat runs away quickly before he's captured. Sacred cat. So, yeah, they've got that objective now. Okay, last act for the shooting phase. Going to be the Sentinels. Going to fire the last cannons at what?
At the
At the Armiger. Try and
yeah.
strip this away from this objective in the corner. So,
Yeah.
3 shots, hitting with 4s, gets 2 hits, that's strong stuff. 3s to wound. Gets 1. And we need to save on it invulnerable. 5 save for this Armiger, please. For the Omnissiah. No, goes through. He's only got 4 wounds left. And he's dusted on a 6. Okay, we forgot to say at the end of the phase there, what happened was he didn't pull this out of combat, so we got to fight. So we just did a fight off camera, exploded, D3 mortal wounds on the robot, so he's only got 1 wound left, and the engine's data smith is dead. So that was really, really not helpful. Okay, some choice units taken out there for the Renegades, and they've scored 1 point for this objective over here. Alright, Adeptus Mechanicus turn. We've simply got almost nothing left. Especially after that explosion, that was really sour. So he's moved on, he's going to try and claim the Chimera. This Onagajun Crawler is going to try and fire at the Chimera. Belisarius has fell back out of sight of those Sentinels, they're obviously doing well now. Still claiming the objective, and this Destroyer, he's going to fire at this unit to stop them getting any more points. Alright, so the Battle Servitor, he's going to fire his plasma at them, so D6 shots. Only getting 2, that's unfortunate, we're not going to wipe them out. Reroll because of Belisarius. No, and then 2s to wound. Okay, we'll kill 1. Okay, finish off the shooting phase with the neutron laser and everything. No, sorry, the Stubbers went at the Chimera, took off an astonishing 3 wounds, and then the neutron laser has killed a Sentinel over there. So, combat, the Castellan robot is going to go in the distance, see what he can do. Okay, so that is the end of the turn. We did the attacks with the robot. He fought twice because that's what his protocols are still, and failed to hit. He's just been terrible. He's been taking loads of damage, but he just hasn't been dishing it out. So the Chimera is still in the same state as it was, and that is the end of the turn. So we didn't blow these away. No morale check needed for them, and we do claim the central objective again with Belisarius' call for 3 points. So that's putting us on 16 points for the Mechanicus and 9 for the Renegades. So we're just going to call it there because it's very late in the day. And it's very unlikely that the Renegades are going to be able to come back, because Belisarius will just stay there for turn after turn now and rack up more points than the Renegades will be able to bring in. So we're going to call it there, Mechanicus. That was a really hard fought victory. Ups and downs, left, right and centre. Very aggressive from the Renegades. But they did what they needed to do. Had some tricky stuff. And that was a bit of a slugfest.